Hey everyone, it's Mac Daddy, Mac Attack, however you know me, Mac the Knife, Shihan Mac, all those things. Yeah, I don't know if you can see how tired I am in my eyes. You can see that, but I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted both physically and mentally and emotionally. Um, you know, my wife had knee surgery this last week, and yeah, she's been in a lot of pain this week, so I've been taking care of her as well. And we had to have oxygen delivered today for Elena. The first part of the day, till about 2 o'clock, was really rough. She's struggling more and more to breathe. There's so much swelling. I mean, her belly is, I mean, it looks like it will pop any minute. It's just like so tight and so big. It looks like she's having triplets or something. And that's the cancer. That's where the tumor is. And it's just taking over. It's just growing and growing all the time. And it's causing, well, the doctors told us it causes blood clots in her stomach and her legs and her lungs. Last time they did a CT scan, there were something like 18 blood clots in her lungs. So, one thing we know is she could just die from one of those blood clots at any moment. If it travels to the right place, or the wrong place, I mean. But, yeah. But she had a pain crisis this morning, or today. It was about lunchtime, actually, a little after lunch, about 1 o'clock, but that doesn't matter. So it's really interesting because she's an old hippie who did a lot of drugs in her days, more drugs than I've ever seen in my lifetime. She did, in her life, and but the last, I don't know, 15 years or so, she is 20 years maybe. She's just, she did it. And she's not interested in that feeling anymore of being out of control or high, or she doesn't like it actually. Now, when she had breast cancer, and I helped walk her through that back in 2011, yeah, I think she was diagnosed in 2011, 2010, 11. She, she did use edibles and stuff as well then to help because the chemo she was on then, and chemos are very different depending on what kind of cancer you have now. But those really upset her stomach. So the the edible marijuana cannabis helped her a lot. So she did that, but the point is she doesn't like the high feeling, and so she really gives a lot of resistance to taking pain meds. And that is a really difficult balance because then she'll have these pain crises when she's like, I am like, this is too much. If it's going to be like this, I don't want to be here. And we're saying we have the things to make you more comfortable, but you're telling us you don't want to take them. And, it's frustrating, right? Because we want to honor her wishes and we don't want to see her suffer, but her resistance is causing more suffering. And yet there's a part of me that understands, she's like, I don't like when I don't feel cognizant, and I don't feel, she doesn't like that feeling right now. She's, I guess, trying to hold on to every moment. We've started talking to her about the fact that we've had some really deep, interesting conversations. About resistance is going to make this journey tougher. You're at the point where riding with the wave is probably going to make this journey a lot easier. And in some moments she'll say, "Yeah, I think you're right," but she's like riding this roller coaster right now of her emotions of acceptance. I think that we're at that place, and she is talking about acceptance more. She is, now saying that I don't think I can make it through the end of the year. I'm not sure I can make it to the end of the year. She's saying things like that because she had really pushed before to say she wanted to not die in 2020 because everything in 2020 has been so shitty. Um, and which we joked and made laughed about. But she is, I think, coming to the realization that that's a long way away in her situation. And when things are getting worse every day, that's forever away. I've always said, as an athlete who's in a sport that's fighting, 30 seconds or 1 minute can seem like a lifetime if you're on the wrong side of that. Or it can go by just like that if you're on the right side of it. It's all about perspective. And so she had this pain crisis today, and she said, and Jim was here. So we're all polyamorous. Jim is one of her other main partner, and kind of in the extended care team. He's not here very often, about once a week, but right now, but he at once a week. But anyway, he was here. And when she had this crisis, she just started crying and said, "If this is going to be like this, I want my death with dignity drugs. I want you to get my death with dignity drugs." Like, that hit me like somebody was dropping a brick on my head. I was like, oh shit, we're at that place. Okay. So the way Death with Dignity works is you have to go through, it basically takes 2 months to set it up. So don't wait if you're in that situation. 2 months if you do all the paperwork and you follow up when you're supposed to. And then you have to go to certain types of pharmacies because they have to be a compounding pharmacy. And then you'll get the approval. You have to have a second doctor check in with you and make sure and do all the paperwork. And then you get the approval to get your prescription. But there's not any insurance company in the world that pays for this, and the drugs are about $1,000, just so you know. So you don't pay for them if you don't pick them up, even though the prescription has been written. And so we haven't picked them up, even though she's got all the approval and all the stuff, because we've been talking about it. She didn't know for sure she wanted to do that. She was like, let's see how it goes. Maybe you'll just keep up in my morphine and I'll just sleep. And, that's the other way to do it. You up the pain medicine enough to where they're just sleeping all the time and they die in their sleep at some point when the body's had enough. And so we've been going through like these heavy conversations about this stuff. But when she said that today, that was really hard to take. My wife, my wife, who, is she will talk about the thing in the room every time that nobody wants to be the first to speak up about. It bring up, everything everybody's avoiding wanting to talk about. She will flat out bring it up in front of everybody every time. And so she says, are you sure you want to do that? And let's just let it pass. Let's just let it pass. Basically what happened was she said that I had to go run some errands. Jim was there to help cover for me so I could run some errands. And, I did have that look in my face like I was not happy we were at this point, and that just hit me really sad. And I would have to be the one that goes and picks those drugs up, and probably be the one that hands them to her with the water to take them, or whatever, however they go. Drop it under her tongue or what the hell ever. I don't know yet if it's liquid or pill. I don't know. And that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with and a lot to swallow. And then I have to think about the emotions during this. If she picks death with dignity and designs a time, to me that's more complicated. Because not only then do I have to deal with me and Dawn being there with her, me and my wife, and that's fine with me. That's what I mean, I like that, right? I mean, I like Dawn being the one there with me. But then it's going to be a ceremony where there's a lot of other people here in this same moment. And then what we have to do is also deal with all these other people's shit around things, around death, their emotions and how they handle it. So, being who I am, I worry that I still have to fucking take care of all these people. And I'm exhausted. It's a lot. And that's just raw honesty. Hi, Obi. My puppy's talking to me. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just exhausted. So the thought of worrying about taking care of all these other people and their emotions around it, it's tough for me right now. It's tough for me right now. And, yeah. All right. That's the Grief Journal, part 6.